Quick bike check before the ride. Got our tools and radio and emergency gear out back. Definitely carrying a little extra stuff that really shouldn't need. This is mostly for practice. Just a few pounds, maybe under 10 pounds of gear on the rear rack. A gallon of fuel up front. The Whizzer takes pump gas, so we may be able to go fully self-supported today between the half tank in there right now and what I'm carrying. But we'll definitely be weighing in probably over 100 pounds of just bike today. Anytime, I guess, with the Whizzer, but a few extra pounds in gear. But that's how we like to roll, just sort of simulate how it would be fully loaded or semi-fully loaded out on any given ride. I'm ready to repair a flat, and I'm ready to, tighten any of my main contact points on the bike if needed. But we've been over this bike pretty closely the last few weeks. I'm hoping for a trouble-free ride. Okay, so at the risk of sounding like a big baby, I've gone and rode into a big old cloud bank, and I'm anticipating rain any time now. Thought I'd give us a moment to check the gear. Everything is riding just where it should be. No real problems there. Bike's working beautifully and cruising very comfortably at 35 miles an hour or so. I see the river. Well, I guess it's the outskirts of Renton. Invade their privacy too directly. going right also. I'm going that way also. Don't go under me. Hey everybody. Not taking the ride I had planned exactly today, but definitely getting some miles in right now. I'm up at Sandpoint Way in Seattle. I think it's near, I think Magnuson Park is the park that it's a big part of. Yep, Magnuson Park, off-leash dog area, for those who know the area, is right around here. Rode the Whizzer up here. You can hear in the background, it sounds like the PSRG, Puget Sound Repeater Group, Noon Net is going on. Let's see if we can't listen to just a little bit of the Noon Net while we take our quick break here. Gonna go ahead and try to ride all the way around the lake today on the Whizzer. If we can beat the rain. At a certain point, we're at the point of no return, which is really close to where we are now.
I4KH. Dennis, how was your Saturday? Roger, control, this is Echo India 4, Kilo Hotel Portable. All copies, yeah, just a very busy Saturday, as I'm a farmer, a cattle farmer, and temperature here today is about 15 degrees Celsius, and I'm 10 miles north of Cork City, south coast of Ireland, and I am 600 feet over sea level. I'm using a Vauxhall HP walkie-talkie, and I'm on 70 centimeter on RF, and I am going to also tomorrow signal control. This is Echo India 4 Kilo Hotel Stroke Portable. Roger. Dennis, we've got you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And wow, 15 degrees Celsius, about what, 59, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm comfortable. Of course, it's your evening, so good stuff. 600 foot above sea level. You're getting out pretty well. I'm about 600 foot here where I'm at, too. But of course, we've got our repeater, so got a good, strong internet connection where you're at. So thanks for checking in, and love to hear maybe next time more about your farming. You know, what you're farming and what you've got in the ground right now, and where you're at in that process. So, hey, Dennis, you take care. And like I say, we've got a round 2. We'll see if you're still out there, and maybe you can tell us more. All right, sir, you take care. All right, this is Jason, KJ7 Golf Lima Bravo. You've got the new here on the PSRG. We're still rolling through round 1, and we want to hear from you. So give us your name and call sign, and we'd love to hear from you. Come on ahead. There's my brother from across the state. Lee, we've got you. Hold on just a minute. Who else is out there?
This is Kilo Juliet 7 Whiskey Quebec Kilo on mobile from Sandpoint Way.
Right, KJ7WQK, I've got you. Hold on just a sec. Anybody else out there?
We switched to low power before we transmitted there
for the recheck.
for the net, just to make sure we're not
N6 RDF with a
being
recheck.
unnecessarily
Do
loud.
you wait or do you want to go now? Safe, and we'll hit you up around too. Maybe tell us more about your phone, and don't get too stuck in trying to get everything set up at once because your eyes will go cross-eyed. Good stuff. Lee, take care. This is Jason, KJ7GLB. You've got the new net on the PSRG. Let's keep it rolling. We're in round 1. Let's go out to KJ7WQK, I believe it was. Come on ahead now. What you got going on?
Good afternoon, Jason. Good afternoon to the net. This is KJ7WQK, Steve. Normally out of Skyway, but mobile today out up at Sandpoint Way. Hopefully you can hear me all right. I am taking a ride today, beating the gas prices by riding my motorized Whizzer bicycle. Trying to circumnavigate the lake today and make it back home to Skyway before the rain. Sorry there, wasn't sure if I was going to hit the cutoff. This is Kilo Julia 7, Whiskey Quebec Kilo from Sandpoint. Thanks.
Steve, no, we got you. And you were doing pretty cool. You were hitting Lake Forest Park at over 200, so 200 to 250, so good strong signal there. And now our cutoff, the alligator will bite you at 3 minutes, so it's a 3-minute mark, so you had plenty of time. Well, good on you for getting that bike ride out, and yeah, I hope you'll make it home before it starts raining, I'm sure. So, be yourself, be safe, and we'll hit you up around 2, see if you're still out there riding. Take care. Talk to you soon. All right, let's go back out to N6RDF with his recheck. Go ahead, sir.
This is the north end of Lake Washington, Juanita Beach. I'm already getting sprinkled on out here, so I'm not really gonna stop and take in the view. But this is the opposite end of the lake from where we actually live. And as you can hear, the Whizzer's just doing wonderful. Doesn't mind the trip at all. About halfway there. Trip ETA on the navigation says about an hour to home on the side roads from here. And my only regret for the ride today is that I stopped earlier at Pagliacci and got a slice of pizza, and that means I messed up because I could have gone to SPUD. SPUD Fish and Chips. If you know, you know. Here she is. We made it back safe. No mishaps, no trouble from a full circuit of Lake Washington. Complicated slightly by the weekend and weekend closures of the lake route road, both at the south end of the lake on Lake Washington Boulevard and on the north end on the east side, trying to head home on Juanita Drive. Detours were had, steep ones in a couple of instances that did challenge the Whizzer's belt. As is usually the case on a long ride, you have time to reflect on your setup and your mechanicals, etc. And I really believe that as we look really closely at our rear dropout here, try to get it in focus, the very sharp-eyed among you will notice that I have, it's really hard to see in this light, but a tiny gap between the rear axle and the top of the dropout. My wheel's aligned real nicely, and it hasn't moved. Okay, alignment is good, but I'm not at the very top of the back of the dropout. see if I can. Oh gosh. Yep, there. You should be able to see right there. There's some, you can see the back of the nutted axle there through the dropout. Now, I believe that at times the Whizzer is struggling ever so slightly on hills because the belt tension would be ever so slightly higher if I settled this whole axle in the rear dropout before I fixed the rear brake in place and before I roll the belt back on to its sheave. We're going to try that before our next ride. We're going to try to close that gap right there. Keep the wheel aligned really nicely in both directions. And I think what we're going to get is more bite, less squeal, less continuous slip. The bike still seemed to do wonderful today. It cruised at over 35 miles an hour in a lot of places. I was really happy at 30 miles an hour. The slower you go, the happier the Whizzer is, honestly. It's a cruiser, right? But a Lake Washington route ride is 65, 70 miles total, at least. I found myself fretting during the ride because I didn't record it. I didn't actually record the ride. I was trying to preserve batteries on the phone while I was out, and I said to myself, man, is it even a ride if you didn't record it for your video, if you're thinking about making a video for it? And I decided right then and there that we're not going to do that, okay? I'm going to tell you where I rode. Maybe I'll show you some pictures. Maybe I'll show you a route after the fact on a map, or maybe I won't, and you can just believe me. You can trust me. There's no reason to make up where I rode or how far I rode or how well it went. Obviously, I'll share whatever I've got recorded whenever I've got it, but let's not get hung up on that, right? Had an amazing ride today. Very stupidly windy day. You can still see the trees going around here. I mean, stuff in my backyard is flopping around, flying around. We're lucky we took our umbrellas down this morning, and it's obviously going to rain the next day or two. Had a great time today, though. Riding the Whizzer. Had a great check-in on the new net on the PSRG repeater group. Reported in that I was actually out on a ride. A lot of times I just I.O., but today I decided to clumsily throw my sign out there and join the net, at least for one quick report. Now we're home safe. I really think I've figured something out here with respect to the rear dropout and our ultimate belt tension. As you can tell, it's not bad, okay, on this bike. It's not bad. Has a good grip. We just made it 70 miles trouble-free. It just, at the steepest of hills, we seem to be able to roast the belt and slip it and just get it into a slipped up, glazed up state in just a couple of places where I was, for a moment there, I wasn't sure if I wasn't gonna have to dismount. Didn't end up having to do so. Shut our fuel off. Whizzer is keyed off. There's our famous Whizzer restrictor plate that as soon as we removed it, boy oh boy, did we have a bike. That was in our intake, blocking a lot of airflow from going through the air intake into the engine. If you own a modern Whizzer, and you haven't removed this thing yet from your intake manifold, I'm telling you right now, firsthand, you got an extra 10 miles per hour plus, really 15 miles per hour, hiding in that bike of yours. Take this out of your intake. All right, everybody, this is Steve, KJ7WQK. That's Kilo, Juliet 7, Whiskey, Quebec, Kilo. Had a great ride today, and I'll try to chop this up into some kind of little short video for you all. Short, we'll see what it comes out to be, right? All right, everybody, you guys are great. We'll talk to you real soon.